Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And we're so excited you're here. We hope you voted.
If you are in line to get into the Geeks Corner chat, stay in line. That's how that works, right?
Sure.
We're not going to close the Geeks Corner chat on people.
No, we won't do that.
Anyway, no, exercise your right to vote. It's a super cool thing to do. Make your voice heard. That's what makes the world great.
Very true. Very true. What should people do?
You should go into the chat, like I said it was. I don't think we're closing it anytime soon, so feel free to get in line. And go tell us something great that happened today. Give us some positivity.
Lots of positivity. Always a good
be
thing.
nice to each other.
Exactly. Very true. There were some awesome things that happened this week before we get into the news. Agatha All Along finished. Only Murders in the Building also finished, which was crazy that they both were like
at the same time.
Yeah, that was a little bit insane.
More like disappointing because I'm like, well, now what am I gonna watch?
True. Let's start with Only Murders in the Building. It finished up. We already know it's coming back for another season,
Thank goodness.
Is fantastic. What did you think overall of the entire season? And then what did you think of the ending?
I thought the entire season was very beautiful. I think the thing that Only Murders does very well is that it gives you an Agatha Christie whodunit, but it also gives you this like extremely compelling story of people that love each other. And that's platonic love, it's romantic love, it's sibling-esque love.
They just all have fun doing it, you can tell.
Yeah, but I'm thinking specifically of like the Saz storyline. Like that's, I think that the show is just a really good representation of people that care about each other. And I love it.
And the ending.
The ending made me sad. I won't get into spoilers because I won't do that to you guys. But the ending made me sad. I think it's very interesting. And I feel like there's a bit of a conspiracy that we're about to unwrap. And I feel like it has something to do with all of the...
I also feel like it was a reshoot.
Really?
I think they shot the ending once they knew.
Oh, once they knew for sure. Yeah.
I think somewhere there was probably, if this was ever released on a really great DVD or Blu-ray, I guess, with a bunch of bonus features, there'd be the, you know, how they have the alternate scenes.
Yeah.
You're like, here's the other ending that we almost had. Like, I think there's definitely the possibility of like, oh, if we don't get picked up, this is our ending.
Yeah.
Oh, we have been picked up, so this is the other direction we're gonna go. Just my hunch.
I do think that there's still some loose ends to tie up from season 1, though. So
always. I thought it was a great season. I thought it was a lot of fun.
It was so fun.
I think the thing about Only Murders in the Building is it's just a fun ride, and they make up all the rules. It's kind of like
Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Whose Line Is It Anyway? Because it's completely just Steve Martin and team making the show they want to make the way they want to make it and following the storyline that they want to follow. And I think it's a great thing because it works for the most part. Like, yeah, there's occasionally something you're like, but who cares? Because they're having fun.
Well, and that's what really gets me about Only Murders, to go on my soapbox for a second. And I saw a lot of people actually claiming, you know, Deus Ex Machina. That's not, it's never going to be realistic. First of all, this many murders in one apartment building, they would have shut the place down by now. Or more realistically, the management company of the Arconia would have kicked them out for running a business about the Arconia.
Yeah, or something. Or like, just been saying, hey, we don't want you here because you're making us look
bad.
Or,
yeah, like...
They probably have been sued for defamation or something,
that's true. Like, you have to suspend disbelief. This lives in a silly little world where a detective comes to people running a podcast and says, here's some clues.
Yeah.
Like...
Exactly.
It's like if Agatha Christie had a really good sense of humor.
I agree.
I don't think she did.
I thought the ending was great. I actually really enjoyed it, how they tied it all up, and I thought it was fitting for what it was, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they go next season. Because the further out they get, the more in they get, which is interesting. True. As opposed to you kind of expected it to just kind of branch and go further on. It's like, oh no, it all comes back. Like they've done a really good job of keeping everything focused on the building, and I really love that. Agatha All Along.
Yes.
It had 9 episodes instead of 10.
Yeah.
It finished this last week as well. First off, the entire season, what did you think of this well, actually, it's the whole show. What'd you think of this show?
Absolutely incredible. Home run for Marvel. One of the best things they've ever put out. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Incredible.
Favorite character?
Loved it. I feel like I have to say Rio.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's a no-brainer for you that it's Rio.
Who's yours?
Probably Teen.
Oh, okay.
Like I thought that was an interesting development, and I liked how that progressed his story, and will progress, I presume. I don't know. Like I liked that the most, and yeah, I think easily Teen, actually, the more I think about it.
See, and Rio's just one of my favorite tropes of the tough girl who has a really big soft side that people think or have this opinion of like, oh, you're so mean, or oh, you're so this, but she's actually just a big softie who loves really, really hard. And I loved Rio a whole lot. And she's less a Green Witch, more the Green Witch.
Okay.
That's one of the best parts.
What did you think of the ending? And we'll consider both episodes the ending, the last two.
Okay, for considering both episodes, great, hit the mark. Having watched the 2 episodes spaced out, I thought that there was some weird pacing issues that I don't know that's the way that I would have necessarily told the story, but I also don't make films or TV shows or movies for a living. To me, episodes 1 through 8 are a near perfect run, especially because episode 8 is insane. Like that's Lilia's episode. Insane. One of the best things Marvel's ever put out ever.
And she probably had the best performance in the show.
That's Patti LuPone.
But like, there's still lots of opportunities for good performances in this, and I thought she killed it.
Like that episode so it's episode 7 into episode 8, near perfect string. I think if they had tied up a few loose ends earlier in the season, I think that would have been the perfect finale. Episode 9 just felt like a weird pacing to me to be the finale, if I'm being completely honest. But also, like, that doesn't, to me, it does not take away how I felt about the show as a whole. I still think the show was incredible. It was just walking away from the finale, I went, huh. Interesting choice.
I agree. I thought the 9 was a total miss. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I felt like they knew that they had to answer certain questions, and I felt like they didn't really know how to wrap up that bow, or make that bow, whatever it is. And so where I thought the first 8 episodes, there wasn't a moment I looked at my watch. Like I was just engrossed the entire time.
Yeah.
And then 9, it felt like, oh, we have to do this.
Yeah.
And part of me almost thinks, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
Like, yes, the story elements, I get it. Like, it made things make sense, but maybe they took too long, and they could have like combined 8 and 9 and mixed them up a little bit more, like
I
frame it a little bit.
Think that it could have been framed.
I just think most of episode 9 took too long for what it was, and maybe it should have been teased throughout the whole season, or like cut up into the whole season, or something like that. Like I just felt like it for how intense and exciting and thrilling, I guess you could say, the first 8 episodes were. Episode 9 was just kind of ho-hum. And I was like, oh,
and to
okay.
me,
Like,
episode 8, I walked away going, well, that was a finale. Like it felt like close the chapter. We are done. It did not feel like there was anything more to do. So as actually, I remember turning to you and going, we still have another episode? Like, are we sure we didn't get them mixed up somehow? Because it just felt like there's this grand climactic scene. There's this energy. There's all this stuff happening. And I was like, oh, heck yeah.
And then womp.
And then we actually added an addendum that didn't feel necessary.
Still a very good show. But,
still amazing.
I
also,
think,
yes, Patti LuPone should get an Emmy.
I think the funny thing is Agatha all along of the 2 shows was the better show for highlights within the show. Like it had higher highs.
Yeah.
Only Murders in the Buildings didn't have any of the lower lows.
Yeah.
That episode 9 was. So I feel like in some ways I liked Only Murders in the Building a little bit better, just because it was more solid. It was like I had the same. I was happy the entire time. There was never any like, huh? And
I mean,
that's what I got.
All along didn't have Paul Rudd. doing a really bad Irish accent.
There you go.
So
Surprise.
I love Paul Rudd.
Yes.
Who doesn't?
All right, let's move on into the week in geek. Tomorrow, magic keys go back on sale once again.
Better go get them.
Whatever magic key you want, you will be able to get tomorrow for as long as they last. Generally, a couple of them will go fast, and the more expensive one, and what was it last time? Like the Inspire lasted the longest in the Belief.
I think so.
Anyway, if you want one, get it fast. Expect to wait a little bit tomorrow. I believe they'll probably have the email notification thing. I personally don't like that when I'm buying things because I just don't trust that I'm going to check my email quickly enough. And you do have a time limit thing, so you basically, either way, you're glued to a screen.
Like,
so you might as well just stick with
experience the email being a little delayed.
So. Yeah. So either way, you're stuck to a screen. Yeah. You might as well just watch the queue, the virtual queue, and watch your countdown. And make a sandwich and wait for it, a cup of coffee, whatever. But that's going to happen tomorrow morning. And we've got all the details up on the website if you are looking to purchase a magic key. If you do not get one this time, it will probably be on sale for a few weeks, if not months, depending on how quickly things sell. And then they'll disappear for a while again. And then we'll see what their new routine is.
Just looking at the trend.
It would not surprise me if they do take them away. Like, I wouldn't sell them too long if I were Disney, because at some point they're going to want to make all the announcements for Disneyland's 70th anniversary. And I'm assuming they'll want to reopen sales again for the 70th. So the spring or something. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that'll be an interesting process. Good luck if you're doing it. Let us know how it goes if you're purchasing one, because we always like to see how these things go as well.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
And I will be hopping in just to check how the system works anyway, just to kind of monitor things for people, and then we can report on them. Another thing that came out this week, though, which is way more, maybe not way more exciting than Magic Keys, but it's pretty close. Maybe it is more. But Music by John Williams, the documentary, is now on Disney Plus. And it is fantastic. It is a heartfelt tribute to the man that's the maestro of the movies, that written so many soundtracks to our lives. But this goes into his life from very young age up to basically now. And you hear details about his life that you normally don't hear. You see the context of when things are made. You see the context of the relationships of when things were made and how they came to be, and how things could have been so much different if these relationships weren't in place and they hadn't worked together with John Williams or Johnny Williams for the first part of his career. But I thought it was a fantastic documentary, if not the best documentary currently on Disney Plus. What did you think?
I think it's one of the best documentaries I've ever watched, period.
Oh, there you go.
And I love documentaries. Okay. I think that needs to be said.
Mm-hmm.
I love a good documentary. This is moving. It is heartfelt. I was so tired, but I stayed awake and watched it anyway, because it is like and that says a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I could love something and I will be like, I need to go to sleep,
mm-hmm.
because I am sleepy girl, registered trademark, always. This documentary is so good. And like, it talks about things that inspired John Williams. It talks about things that were happening in his life that were bringing him to this point.
His wife dying.
And
way more detail about his wife than his first wife than I'd ever seen in that way before.
And what I thought was so fascinating, and I think his grandson is the one that says it, of, my grandfather never talked about his feelings, but he said what he was feeling through his music. And so they go into these scores that are so heart-wrenching, and they're beautiful, but they're so sad. And it's like, those were coming from places of grief. Or the concerto that he wrote, it's a violin concerto, I believe, mm-hmm. for his first wife. And it's full of like this heartbreaking agony. And I think that even so, to give you some context, you are 90% of a music major. I was in a show choir. So like, I don't really know what's going on. They were going into some in-depth you said is music theory 101.
It really was.
To me, I was like, oh my God, this is like PhD level music theory. But they're talking.
No, it was music theory 101.
Anyway.
I thought it was a very effective music theory 101.
And I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And you're like, I know exactly what's happening.
It was great.
But it's still registered for both of us. So do I know anything about instruments? No, I played violin and it was terrible in the 4th grade. Like that's what I did. But I think sometimes some of these documentaries can feel so inaccessible because you're like, well, I don't understand the medium. Like, I don't understand writing a symphony. I don't understand anything about music or the way it's supposed to make me feel. I just know it makes me feel that. And I think that they did such a good job explaining these things. And I also just love John Williams. Like, I think he is such a delight and such a treasure. And some of my favorite moments in the doc are him and Steven Spielberg together.
Yeah, they were very fun. But it was also interesting hearing like George Lucas saying that if John Williams hadn't done the music for episodes 1, 2, and 3, he wouldn't have made the movies.
4, 5, and 6.
Nope, he said 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, those ones. Yes.
But it was interesting just to see the different parts of his life, how they carried through. Like it's a solid documentary. If you haven't seen it, watch it. If you have seen it, watch it again, because Disney needs to see that this is a good documentary. And the way they see that is by minutes watched. And so the more minutes that are watched of this, even if you just turn on and listen to it, that tells them we like this kind of stuff. We want more of this. And hopefully we get more things like this, because I just think solid, 2 thumbs up, hats off, all of that. Like,
love it.
As high of a rating as I can get it. Next week, a week from Friday, actually, if I recall, if I have the dates right in my head, Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Yeah, that's
opens
correct.
at Disneyland. They're going to be using a virtual queue. Basically, it's the same system they're using for Magic Key previews. There'll be a 7 a.m. window for people that have Disneyland park reservations that they start with. And then for anybody that's been into Disneyland or Disney California Adventure by noon, you can try to get into the 12 o'clock noon virtual queue opportunity window, I guess you'd call it, there as well. There is going to be rider switch opportunities for people that have kids that are under 40 inches, I think. And all of that fun stuff. The best part about this is Disney attractions are meant to be enjoyed by families. And once it's open, it will be. And one of the things we noticed the other night was there weren't people on it. They're just running the logs, because I think the preview was over for the day. And so you just see the logs fall, which is great, I guess. But there's something very magical about walking in that area of the park and hearing the screams every 30 seconds, 45 seconds, whatever that is. And so it'll be fun to see that area of the park come to life even more than it already is with the opening of Hungry Bear, with Ray's Berets. I guess that's pretty much open.
The reopening of Pooh's Corner.
Pooh's Corner is open.
Lewis Critter Club.
Yeah, Lewis Critter Club will be opening on the 13th. So there'll be lots of things to do and see over there. We'll be covering that, and we'll have that coverage up next week. But know, if you want to experience it, you're going to have to do the virtual queue or purchase Lightning Lane Premier Access. I think is that the one it's called now?
The $400 one?
No,
that's
Lightning
multi-pass.
What's the one that's just one now?
Individual Lightning Lane.
Individual Lightning Lane. Thank you. Too many of those right now. I even write about this all the time, and I get confused.
As I said today in a meeting, simple is hard,
but it's effective. All right. Another thing that's coming up is Thanksgiving. We've got some fun ideas in the works for our Thanksgiving episode. One of them kind of funny also, I think. We will see how it plays out, and hopefully it plays well. But one of the things you might want to play is a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, which we love to watch all of the Charlie Brown holiday specials, whether it's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, Christmas one, all of those. If you want to watch it, you can the weekend before Thanksgiving. It is free. I think it's hilarious because I don't think it's their strongest holiday
it's
special.
Not the one that everyone talks about.
No, it's Christmas and Halloween are the two everybody
Those
knows.
Are the ones that and there's an Easter one, I think, too, but nobody talks about that one either.
And there's a Valentine's, there's a bunch of them. There's way more than you'd ever imagine. If you have Apple TV Plus, subscription, you can watch literally every Peanut.
Okay, but be careful because I went through and I was watching the original Peanuts cartoons, and they are so mean to that Charlie Brown. They're so mean to him.
You should read the cartoons too.
I don't know how to read.
Or the comics.
They're so mean. Like
Lightning Lane Single Pass. Thank you.
Oh, good gravy.
It used to be individual Lightning Lane. Now it's Lightning Lane Single Pass. I knew there was a pass in it. Anyway, thank you.
Gobble gobble. Thanksgiving.
You can watch it for free. You don't have to have a Apple TV Plus subscription on that weekend before Thanksgiving. You just go to either download the app or you go to the Apple TV website. And you can watch them that way, which I think is a good thing to do.
I just think it would have been really funny I know this isn't how it happened, but bear with me. I think it would have been really funny if they played off of the success of the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. And they were like, it's the Great Turkey Charlie Brown.
But maybe it's Snoopy instead.
It's the Great Pine Tree Charlie Brown.
I'm glad they didn't do that.
It's the Great Cupid
I
Charlie
still think
Brown.
it'd be fun to have a Charlie Brown tree. Like not the one he brings, but like the aluminum tree for Geeks Corner.
See, and to me,
I think it could go like right here.
I don't know what is more iconic. I don't know if the Charlie Brown Christmas tree is more iconic or Welcome Great Pumpkin is more iconic. To me, in my day-to-day life, I reference Welcome Great Pumpkin so much. I have drawn that sign more times than I can count. But also, sometimes you're just walking around a Christmas tree farm and you go, that's Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
I think they both have their, one of them's more heartfelt and the other is more fun. But neither of them you can watch at Thanksgiving. You can watch the Thanksgiving or Charlie Brown Thanksgiving the weekend before. And I think it's very interesting because there's been lots of chatter the last few years since Apple TV got the rights to it. I think it was 2020, maybe.
Something like that.
And there's kind of this whole complaint that now it's streaming and you can't watch it on TV and whatever. And the thing I think is hilarious, to me at least, is I remember growing up, it was on one night.
Halloween night.
Sometimes, not always. Okay. Usually it was actually, I think, the Saturday before Halloween or something.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's Thursday before. But it was like, there would be one night where you could watch a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving or Charlie Brown Christmas. It's a Great Pumpkin Thanksgiving one. The Grinch, I think, is in that category too. Frosty, all of those shows. But usually it was like growing up when you had the main channels and then it wasn't on cable. You got the one opportunity. Mm-hmm. You've got like 22 minutes or whatever it is to watch one of these Charlie Brown specials for the entire season. Now you get a whole weekend. Mm-hmm. And it's free. It's free. Like you don't have to have cable or anything. I think it's great. Another thing that's great, candy cane dates. The candy cane dates for the Disneyland Resort have been announced. There are different days for Disneyland and Disney California Adventure. So you've got opportunities to go and get handmade candy canes. Mm-hmm. And this is one of those things that I feel like you have to do it at least once.
Not me.
You don't have any interest?
No.
Have you had one though?
Are you seriously asking me that?
Yes.
No, I have not had one.
Well, because sometimes people bring and they're like, here, try it. Okay.
Why would I do that?
Well, you don't like peppermint, but I would still try it.
A disdain for peppermint.
But it's a Christmas tradition at Disneyland. Anyway, we've got the dates. We've got the way to be able to get these and watch them made, but know that they're very limited every day they're made. Know that you are going to be waiting in line. You probably need to get to the parks at least an hour before, and then you're going to get in line.
Wristbands.
It's either wristband or mobile wait list.
Yeah.
So one or two of the ways, just be flexible, be kind. No, you cannot let people in line with you. You cannot join people in line once they're already in there. They're very, I don't want to say strict, but they have to be strict because
they do have to be.
If they're not strict, the system just would fall apart because there's just not enough supply.
There is a limited amount of candy canes. They're being made fresh that day.
It's amazing to watch them make.
It is. And so if candy cane's your thing, if peppermint is your thing, and you want a fresh made candy cane, from my understanding, these are some like the best candy canes in Southern California. I'm not going to say the whole world. There's a lot of places in the whole world.
I'm gonna admit, I didn't like it. I didn't dislike it. Didn't like it.
Do you love candy canes though?
I enjoy them. I like to have one. Like,
really?
Yeah, like one a year or something. You know, like I'm not a huge candy person, but
He's not.
It's the texture. They're not like, you know, the ones you get at the store are like rock hard candy kind of. These were not quite as rock hard.
Oh.
And so it was just a different texture. Like, there was fine. Like there was nothing wrong with it. It was slightly different. To me,
they're also huge.
Which I think that's a perk, because it's super, like, it is super cool. On the flip side, the amount of effort that you put into getting them, you almost don't want to eat them then, because you're like, oh, I did all this work and they wrapped it and it's careful, you know, whatever. But it's kind of a fun tradition. Like, that's to me the real thing is, and like, you should have one at least once. And if you love them, great, because some people absolutely do.
Some people do.
And I would just kind of like, oh, it's fine. Like, but it's starting end of November, basically, all the way through Christmas Day, which I think is new this year. I feel like usually it's done, but you can go one shop has them on Christmas Eve and one has them on Christmas Day. So we've got all those dates up on the website and you can check them out. Finally, as we continue to move through Thanksgiving into Christmas, because everything is starting so soon. And when I say Christmas, the light turned red. That's weird.
You can't see it.
I can see the up here. There it is. You can see a red hint.
Just hear the sleigh bells.
But Knott's Merry Farm is returning on November 22nd. This is one of my favorite things every year, because it's kind of an old country Christmas.
It is
in Southern California. They've got a new tree lighting ceremony this year. They have carolers. The Billies are singing. They have a really cute Snoopy ice show that they're bringing back. I love
the ice show.
It's so good. They have Home for the Holidays, which is this big song and dance number. That feels very fun.
It feels like a White Christmas, or a
White Christmas in California.
But I'm trying to think of another Christmas film from that era.
I think that's the one.
But like, it does feel like White Christmas on stage.
It's that schmaltzy, old school musical thing.
And it's like, we're singing and we're dancing, and then there's toy soldiers, and then there's brother and sister going down the chimney, and they see Santa Claus, and I don't know.
And there's the melodrama in Ghost Town at the Birdcage Theater.
Fight struggle.
They've got the Gift of the Magi or something like that. That's also good. And then, if that's not enough, what?
Tree lighting.
I said tree lighting. New tree lighting this year. Remember?
Maybe there's just so many things happening.
New tree lighting. There's also Adelaide will be performing over in Fiesta Village, and snow will be coming down in Ghost Town. We have to figure out a better system.
We really do.
I told you what it is. We just have to get it. See, now I'm screen above me again. Snow will be coming down in Ghost Town, and perhaps the most fun, maybe not the most fun, but an added bonus is all of the foods that are offered during.
Yummy.
Yes. And to me, if you don't have an annual pass to Knott's Berry Farm, this is the season to get one, because if you get one now, it works till the end of the year, and then you get it all of next year. And I think between Knott's Berry Farm and the Boysenberry Festival, done deal. You've paid off your pass easily.
I think, and I'm so sorry to all of us Knott's pass holders, because I feel like I'm giving away our secret, but I think that if you're a Southern California local, if you are in driving distance to Knott's Berry Farm, everybody is actually, driving distance is very relative, but if you're close to Knott's Berry Farm, get the Knott's Berry Farm pass with the dining plan. And if you're a soda drinker,
get the drink package.
I'm a big soda drinker myself. Get the drink package, not the little drink package, because then you're only going to get a soda that's like yay big.
Get the one where you
get the real one,
which you can also get like coffee and hot cocoa with.
Sure,
so double win.
That pass pays for itself so fast.
And get parking. Like, one of your group needs parking. Not everybody, but one person get parking.
if you are in a relationship or you have friends that you're always going to go with, make sure one person has parking on their pass. Not everybody needs to have parking unless you know for sure, like, oh, I'm not always going to go with this person.
But your big picture is because not.
Yeah, what I was trying to say is that this pass will pay for itself so fast. It is one of the best deals in Southern California theme parks, in my humble opinion. I think that the food is so good. Like the food, you get large portions. And if you were buying these large portions, you'd be spending
Welcome to Geeks Corner Plus. Keep going.
$20+. But you just say, hello, bink, 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 give me my food. And they do. It's amazing.
No, it's great. And the entertainment's fun. The vibe is fun. I actually think the feel is almost more fun than anything else. They have vendors throughout Ghost Town for that are local vendors. Generally, it's like arts and crafts stuff, but great place to go Christmas shopping.
It's where we got
to get something unique for the year.
First Christmas ornament.
And it's all around a great thing. It is Geeks Corner Plus. If you have any questions or comments you'd like us to address, let us know. We will respond to them in the next couple of minutes before we say goodnight. And also let us know what you think of the set progress. We have a ways to go still. We're working on it. We know this. But
if you tell me you don't like Kermit on the set, I'll start screaming.
But we're working there. Baby steps. We're going to get there, figure things out. And it, we just keep moving forward. That's what we keep doing. And
oh my God, I have that tattooed on me. That's crazy.
I know. Shocking.
I have that tattooed on me. That's crazy.
So crazy. Yeah, but it's going to be a lot of fun as we continue to build this and
need the mailbox.
Yes, we do need the mailbox.
Where?
It's packed. I know where it is, but it's
Is it in a different city?
Technically. Yeah. Same county though.
Technically. I was like, what do you mean technically?
Well, I wouldn't call it a city necessarily, but anyway, I know where it's gonna go. I have a great spot for it. It'll be great. That's a good point. Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, we're running out of time. So, Katie, what should people do?
Go to dapsmagic.com. Check out all the. I'm so sorry. That's really funny. Check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens. Subscribe to our mailing list and find our Patreon. We do a pre-show to this show, which is always super fun, super unstructured. Just kind of we talk about whatever is on our mind, and it's usually a really good time.
And it's direct access to us. Like you can just
direct access.
Well, it's an easy way to make sure we don't miss anything because you're speaking with us or in the chat or group, whatever it's
3D
called. Patreon, you're also just connecting with us directly as well. Also, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got a ton of fun videos coming up, and sooner than we think, we're going to have not only Tiana's Bayou Adventure videos, not only Holidays at Disneyland Resort videos, but also Candlelight videos. So those are all coming within the next month, which is crazy to think about. This year has flown on by. But that is all the time we have for you this week. So we will see you round the corner.
Bye.